helps you to build wealth faster. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. If your question is, how do I build wealth? Or your question has been, oh, which one helps you to build wealth faster? Real estate or ETF? Yes, you are in the right place because that's what we're going to be talking about today. How are you? Happy Monday. Welcome to you all. So, if you had to choose, would you invest in ETFs or would you invest in real estate? Because one builds wealth slowly and the other one also builds income faster, right? The other can build income faster for you. So let's talk about this and let's put it to rest today. How are you? Welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome. How are you all doing? ETF or real estate? Oh, you don't even know what we are talking about. Yes, you are in the right place because we're going to be talking about everything ETF, everything real estate today. If you had to choose, would you invest in ETFs or would you invest in real estate? Which one are you going to choose? Which are you going to choose? Because one build wealth slowly while the other one build income faster, right? The other can build you income faster. Today, we are breaking it all down, So let us start. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. ETF or real estate? All right, let's get it started. ETF, and we're going to go on the board today. We are going to be going on the board today, taking it all serious, going on the board today. That's what we are doing. So ETF or real estate, or we don't even know what you're talking about. What is ETF? You don't even know what that is, right? You just want to know, is it just, basically it's the stock market. Is it just better to invest in the stock market or invest in real estate? So let's talk about it. It's one of the biggest questions I get every single day. Welcome, welcome, and let's share that with your friend. Thank you for sharing with your friends and family so that they can learn the same thing that we are all talking about today, ETF, real estate. Welcome. And to everyone that joined the training over the weekend, congratulations to you. For those that missed it, awesome. For those of you that missed it, there's the recording available. All labs, welcome. How are you all doing? Welcome. We're talking about ETFs and real estate today. And of course, I'm going back to the traditional way, the board today, right? Because I was a little bit tired today, having had that long weekend. Yeah, so today, let's talk about ETF or real estate. Which one, if you had to choose your wealth building journey, which one are you going to invest in? ETFs or real estate? Or what are ETFs? You don't even know. ETF simply means exchange traded funds, right? Simply put, invest in stock market or invest in real estate market. Two different, they're two, both of them are investment strategies, right? Both of them helps you to build wealth, but one helps you to build income faster while the other one builds wealth slowly. They're just two different things, different strategies, wealth building too, but which one? Which one do you have to choose? I get this question every single time. Which one should Dr. Lina, which one should I invest in? Which one I want to build wealth? I earn my income, my 9 to 5. Where should I put that income that comes? How do I build wealth? Right here, we talk about it. 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5, that income that you get, are you putting it on ETFs or you putting it on real estate? Thank you all for sharing the live. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you all for sharing the live. And yeah, so we can get into it. So ETFs, real estate, it's basically, like you say, it's building, right? Basically, that's what that is. ETF is exchange traded funds. Christopher, welcome. Thank you all for subscribing on YouTube and thank you for the follow on Instagram. So we're talking about ETF, we're talking about real estate. Welcome, welcome here. So today, let's put it to rest. This question that we always get, let's put it to rest. ETFs or real estate, okay? ETF is simply put, this is what you have, exchange traded funds. So maybe you would have heard this, traded funds. That is ETFs for you, right? Real estate, both of them, real estate on the other hand, real estate are buildings. So you have single family homes, we have multi-family homes, we have lands, all of that. We have office spaces. So they are just, simply put, ETF is simply a basket of funds, a basket of stocks. So you can look at it from here. ETF is basically, simply put, the stock market. You investing in the stock market, right? And you investing in the stock market, and This is you actually buying buildings, buying office, basically, like I said, having to invest in real properties. That's just the difference between the two. Both of them, they are wealth building tool. How do I know? If you go on Google and just check where does the multimillionaires and the billionaires put their money, you would see number one and two, it's going to be one of this. So it can also be called there's also the part that it's called index fund. What are index funds? The difference, they're the same thing. The difference is one is traded during the day, one is traded at the end of the day. That is basically the difference. During the day, you can trade it as stocks, and the other, it trades after the end of the day. The market has settled. That's basically the difference between the two, but they do almost the same thing. So it's just about choices, right? So having said that, and thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for tapping out the live, for sharing the live with your friends and your family. Okay, right. So the thing about it is, what for people that are very new to investing, everybody understand what real estate is, right? You buy a property, you either buy it as a turnkey, you fix it, or you buy a fix and flip, you fix it, and then you rent it out, or you sell it, or there's so many strategies around real estate. Or it could also be land, right? That's real estate for you. That's just as simple as that. And somebody rents it, pays you every single month, and you are building wealth through that way, right? The other ETF, on the other hand, is something that might be new to a lot of people. ETF is basically a basket of stocks. So what are stocks? Stocks is a way for you to have share a part of a company. So you would have had stocks, you would have had shares. Shares is more like you having a share of the company because you are investing some of your money into that company. So for instance, something that is pretty relative. A lot of us have iPhone, right? iPhone is owned by Apple. That's the name of the company. If you want to say that, okay, I like iPhone, I upgrade my phone every single year. So because of that, I would like to I want to have a part of. Oh, Erica, welcome here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome here. And if you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. Thank you so much. Sports SGO Loza, welcome. Welcome here. And everyone on the TikTok, Olebs, Kyrie, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed, consider doing that. We're talking about ETFs and real estate. Which one should you put your money in? This is one of the biggest questions I get every single day in my DM. Where should I start, Dr. Lina? And that's why I am talking about it. Okay. So ETF is just a basket of stocks, right? You have, for instance, using the example of Apple, right? iPhone. You want to be say that, okay, I want to invest in Apple, which is the company that owns iPhone, right? I want to invest in this company. Okay, how do you invest in it? Of course, you can't buy it all because it's pretty expensive, right? But what can you do? You can use your $1, $10, $50, $100. You can buy a portion of Apple, right? Invest in Apple that way. How do you do it? You can simply go on get a brokerage account and look for that ticket symbol and buy that particular stock. As little as $1, you can buy a stock, right? And there is it right there. You buy a part of Apple right there, right? With your $1, $100. Now, this is when Apple grows in terms of the stock. If it grows, you would share a portion of it. Your $1 too is going to grow. So that is how you grow your money. Okay, instead of your money sitting in the bank, you put it towards an investment and then it grows. That is when they say somebody is investing, that is how you invest. And it doesn't have to be Apple, it can be any. Yeah, so but you can buy $1, right? So as Gloria said, but Apple shares is expensive. You can buy fractional shares. It doesn't have to be the whole share. When you look at it, it is very easy. There's no excuse for anyone not to invest, because with $1, like I said, $1, you can buy Apple shares. You will just buy $1 worth of Apple. That's what you are buying. If it's Amazon, or let's even look for a small one, a stock that is like $1 stock, penny stock, you can buy that. Or you can buy solid stocks, right? But you can buy as little as $1. There's something called fractional shares. You don't have to buy the whole unit of that particular stock, right? Or that shares. Now, that is a stock, right? Apple is a stock. But think about it. Somebody, Giora said, but Apple is very expensive. Yes. But now think about it. With your $1, how interesting can it be? You have even complained about Apple already. But there's Apple, but then you also like Amazon, because Amazon is also good. But then you know that, technology is the future. There's Nvidia, right? You want to invest in Nvidia as well. But then there's also, there's also Carvana. There's also, you want to also invest in automobiles, right? You like all of that. But then you only have $5. You only have $100. Yes, that is what ETF does for you. Exchange traded funds. That's what it does for you. You can simply, without your $1 or $100 or $50, you can easily buy everything. Just everything. Just with the same amount of money. You do not have to. You don't have to. It's just a whole basket of all of the different stocks. So think about it. You probably would have heard about S&P 500. It's pretty popular. Top 500 company in the United States. You can easily, just with $1, $100, whatever money that you have, you can easily buy the top 500 companies in the United States or anywhere in your own country as well. ETF, we have different kind of ETF, and I would explain so that you understand. You can buy the entire top 500 companies, through this whole basket of ETF. That's what they call like a VOO, like a VOO. Somebody, the investing, let me see the message that you have here. The investing app I use does allow you to buy fractional stocks, but not all apps allow that. Maybe you can share which apps allow that fractional shares. Absolutely. We are talking about everything, right? I mean, people are talking about apps and all of that. Yes, but that's a good one. So someone is asking that the apps that she uses or he uses allows fractional, but there's some apps that doesn't allow it. So I should share. Yeah, absolutely. We are just beginning the class, but we will go quickly. Right? So exchange traded fund, you can just one basket of fund, you can buy multiple, right? Multiple of it. That's what you can buy with that, with that your $1 or $10, any amount. So really, you do not have any excuse to invest. Gone are the days when you would say that it's because I don't have money. $1, it cannot even buy you a burger, right? So understand that. So with this ETF, what does it help you to do? You can buy multiple. When you buy with just one purchase, you buy multiple. What does that help you to do? It helps you to diversify your risk, which is one of the first thing why when it comes to ETFs it has low barrier entry. You just need to figure out the account or the system or a brokerage account that would allow you to buy your fractional shares. That's it. That's all that you need, right? It is just low barrier entry. That's number one. You can literally open the account now and of course start investing right now. That's how beautiful it is, right? And then whenever you buy one, you're buying everything in that basket, right? Number two is that it is very passive. Now we're looking at the pros and the cons, right? The pros of ETF right here, the Mr. Green right here, exchange traded fund, the pros of it that we have right here. Number low barrier entry. Number two, it is very passive. You open it, you do it one time, you can set it and go. You're good. That's it. You set it one time and go. You can set it as recurring and you leave it for another 10 years. You might not even look at it. You might just look at it once or twice a year. That's how passive it is. It doesn't require your attention or work or anything. That's how good it is, right? The third thing is that it is good for long-term growth. Long-term. So it's not one of those that you'll be like, you're not a day trader. And I always say that day trading, except you have so much knowledge about trading, people need to do their research about stocks in a basket. People shouldn't just buy without researching. Oh, absolutely. And that's why I'm here, right? That's part of the reason why I'm here, okay? because the research, of course, has been done, right? Whatever we're going to be talking here, it's researched, right? Just the same thing with stocks. You don't just gamble into anything, that's stocks or whatever. That's the part of education we are talking about here. But absolutely, very, very great input. And subscribe if you haven't, follow if you haven't. Thank you for sharing and tapping out the like. Awesome. Long-term growth, okay? Because we are not just investing, like you said, it's not just for you to just put money. No, 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 no. You are putting your money where, you work too hard for your money. You traded your time for your money, so your money should be well taken care of, okay? Your money should be well taken care of. So and that's why I often don't talk about day trading, okay? I talk about you doing your checks, doing a research, something that is solid, and then over a long time that it's something that is proven. It's about proven strategy. I'm not one of those that is get rich quick scheme or all those gambling. No, here it's something that is very proven, right? So that's why I talk about it gives you long-term growth, because you can, if I tell you set up something 5 years, 10 years, it means that it already is a very solid investment that that you can look away. Even if it goes down, that it's going to come up. Can you help an older person, please? Oh, yeah. That's why we are here, helping everyone. That's what we are doing right here. Mr. User. Awesome. So diversification is the beauty. That's one of the greatest things that you can get with ETFs. What does this mean? Diversification. When think about it, if you invest in an S&P 500, that is 500 companies in the top 500 companies in the United States. It means that you are not just buying Apple, you are buying Nvidia, you are buying all of those top companies. That's the top of the top companies in the United States. That's what you're buying. If you can decide to say, okay, it's international that you're buying the top. Right? You can actually say that you are buying the entire US market, or you are buying the entire international market. That is what ETFs gets to help you do. And what is the importance of diversification? Diversification is key because it helps you to do two things. Number one is it helps you to spread your risk, right? Because you don't know about tomorrow. I'm not God. Nobody knew there's going to be Iran and the arrest in the Middle East, right? The US and the Iran and everything going on. And nobody knew that with the Strait of Hormuz and all of that was going to happen as of January, right? The same way we did not know that, right? That's the way you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So how can you now still invest, but your money is almost protected? Diversification is a strategy that is being used, right? What does this mean? It means that, whenever you buy, you are not just buying in one industry. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for subscribing. It's not just one industry that you are investing in. Think about it. You are investing in technology. You are investing in retail. You are investing in oil, energy. You are investing in fast-moving consumer goods. You are investing in manufacturing. All of the different industry, automobile, right? You are investing across so many industry, right? So even if one goes down, the other one still holds up the portfolio. That's the beauty of ETF. The other holds up the portfolio. So think about it. Some weeks ago, the stock has really been shaking because of the unrest, right? But guess what? The truth of the matter is, even though everything was going down, guess what? Some of the stocks, right, within the S&P 500 actually gained over 40%. Like energy, right? Energy, like Exxon, right? Energy went all the way up, right? But I feel like people who caused the issue knew this would happen. Well, yeah, that's some politics right there, right? So think about it. Even if everything went down, energy was going up 40%, 30% was all the way it went up. So what does this mean? It means that even if the market goes down, there's another one that is lifting it up. So there is just a form of diversification that you have right there. that helps you to hold your portfolio right there. That's the beauty of diversification. So it helps you to spread your risk. So think about it. If you put your money on one stock and that stock goes down, for instance, let's give an example. Let's say Amazon, right? Amazon, we know that it's a solid company. Because of that, you put all your money on Amazon. But tomorrow, something happened. There's a data breach, and all of a sudden, AWS, which is owned by Amazon, okay, the data center got compromised. There's vulnerabilities, right? What happens? Everybody says, say, oh, bypass Amazon. There's a lot of lawsuits and all of that. I'm just hypothetically. Let's assume that something like that happens. What's going to happen? The stock of Amazon will go down because nobody likes all of those. Bad news is bad for business, right? Or, at times it's good for business though. But everything goes down. And because of that, you lose. Everybody that invested in Amazon only loses their money. But think about the people that not just only invest in Amazon, but they invest in Coca-Cola. They invested in Procter & Gamble. They invested in Exxon, which is oil. They invested in multiple places. What's going to happen? Yes, their portfolio is going to go down a little bit because of that particular Amazon. But guess what? If at that time Exxon is doing well, what's going to happen? There's going to be no difference. It's going to just balance out. Or if it goes down, it cannot go to zero, basically, because if one stock goes down, in a portfolio of 500, like an S&P 500, top 500, let's say one goes down, you still have 499. So that impact is not so huge versus the risk in 100% of your money in one investment versus in 500 companies. That's just basically it. The risk is less. All right. So you should think about it as a professional and actually think about what you need to make sure that you are, whenever you are investing, do not invest with knowledge. Don't just do emotional and don't say, oh, because somebody is saying this or that. You go and do the research yourself, okay? Do your research and know that, okay, whatever this person is saying, you can actually verify it, basically. Zarif, thank you for the follow as well. And everyone that is here, welcome. All right, so if you want to learn how to invest step by step, we're having a smart investing workshop that breaks down all of this. So that's going to be coming sometime soon. So be on the lookout for that. Now, we talked about ETF. So the benefits, right? The benefit of ETF, okay? One is what? Low barrier entry. Number 2 is passive, the ID passive. Number 3, on the other hand, is long-term growth. It's long-term. So for people that want to take a screenshot, you can do that. And of course, diversification. That's the beauty of, that's it right there. That's it. Now let's go to real estate. Real estate. Awesome. Now, real estate. The beauty of real estate is, and just to give you a little bit of background, for real estate is, a lot of people always think that it's just homes, like you rent homes, and I always say no, it's way more than that. Real estate is way more, right? Real estate, we have single family home, which everybody knows. There's land, there's offices, there's malls, there's, there is a movie theater. There is so many kind of real estate, land and all of that. They are all real estate. So let's definitely understand that the beauty of real estate, and I'm going to go quickly on this. Beauty of real estate, while real estate, on the other hand, number one benefit is that it gives you 4 paychecks. 4. That's what you get with real estate. 4 paychecks. Okay? That's 4 paychecks. And what are these paychecks? Number A, all right? Number A, I mean, the first thing is you have your cash flow. Right? Cash flow, that's the first thing that you get with real estate. What does cash flow mean? Cash flow simply means that, let's use the example that we all know about, the single family home. You rented or apartment. You're probably renting right now, or you own a home, right? You rent a house, right? And then you pay the landlord every single month, right? Or you own one and the tenant pays you every single month. But at the same time, for people that, so think about it. You use the bank's money or to buy a house, and then you use the tenant's money to pay for the house, right? The difference between the two, right? So let's say you owe the bank 150, 200,000. Your mortgage is 1,500 every single month, right? And then the tenant, the rent is $2,000, because the house is 200,000, and there's something called the 1% rule, right? Whenever it comes to real estate, that 1% rule, it means that the rent is 2,000. Now the difference between the 1,500 and the 2,000, that's $500. That's $500 right there. That's paid cash. That's some check for you. That is a paycheck for you. $500. That is cash flow. That's number one way that it pays you. Number two way that it pays you is what? Every time you pay the bank, right? Every single time that you pay the bank, it gives you something. It gives you equity. What does equity mean? Equity simply means you have ownership. You are increasing your ownership in that particular property. Okay? What does this mean? Every single time, the 1,500 that we talked about, using the same example, that 1,500, it reduces how much loan. Let's say the property is 200. You took a loan of 150,000 from the bank to finance that property. That 1,500, every single time that you pay the bank, it reduces how much you owe the bank. Now, for every time you owe the bank, it means that you pay the bank, it means that you are reducing your loan, and at the same time increasing your ownership. That ownership that you are increasing in there, that's equity right there. Okay, that equity in itself is cash, right? It doesn't have to be until you sell it that you get to get your money. No, it doesn't. So you get your money back immediately. You can do cash out refinance, you can do e-lock and all of those strategies. So the other way, second way you get your paycheck is what? Equity. Then C, what's the other way that you get paid? Appreciation. Just like what's it called? Stock market and ETFs, right? There's something called the rule of 72. With ETF, right? Every 7 years your money doubles. You can go and Google it. Rule of 72. Rule of 72 says that your money doubles. What time? If you have been wondering how long it's going to take your money to double, right? If you invest your $100, if you put it in an investment like S&P 500 that returns about 10%, right? Your money will double every 7 years. Rule of 72. Okay? Every 7 years, your money doubles, right? When it comes to real estate, on the other hand, on top of the cash flow, on top of the equity, your property doubles. It grows 10%. It's not me. Go on Google, check it. You'll see it's data, right? Property appreciation is 10% every year, which brings it to your money doubles every 10 years. Every 10 years is when it doubles. So you're wondering if you put your money here, or if you put your money in there, put your money in ETFs, it doubles every 7 years. Hey Pump House, how are you? Welcome. If your money doubles in ETF every 7 years, it doubles in real estate every 10 years, basically, right? So you have that, and that is appreciation for you. That is appreciation. That's the next paycheck. So it means that, just still with the same example, with your 200,000, your money becomes 400,000 every 10 years. Every decade it becomes 400, it doubles, right? So that is the third way. Then the fourth paycheck you get with real estate is something called tax benefit. By the way, if you are in the United States and you have not filed your taxes, it's in few days. Few days is what you have on the 15th. Today, 2 more days. So you want to file your taxes as soon if you haven't done it, right? Now, what does this mean? Darlington, welcome. Thank you for the real estate class for 2 days. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Tax benefit. So think about it. A lot of people would be paying their taxes, and they'll be almost crying on in 2 days if they have not filed it, right? Because they're making decent income, and Uncle Sam is going to be taking a lot from them. And this is applicable in so many countries as well. It's not just in the US, in Europe, in Canada, in some countries it's even more than what we have in the United States, by the way, and it's lesser in some countries. Now, how do you, the wealthy or the multimillionaires and the billionaires, what do they do to make sure that they bypass? It's not like they bypass this, really. That's the reality. It's like they bypass that we're doing it the right way, right? Real estate is what helps them, okay? Because with real estate you can actually claim a lot of tax deductions, just like you get your child credit and you claim transportation, claim this, claim that. Real estate can help you do that, absolutely help you do that. So that is the 4 ways that real estate helps you to that's how you help, that's how. So think about it. This one gives you 4 paychecks. ETFs, on the other hand, it will give you the best. It will give you growth, right? It will give you growth, and at the same time, it could give you dividends, right? The growth, a lot of time, is almost the same thing as this appreciation, which you might not be able to claim anything. I mean, you might not be able to until you sell it, right? You might not be able to liquidate that growth. It simply means that if you buy, let's say you buy an ETF, right? You buy a VOO, for instance, and you buy it for 200 when it was $285 some last year, when it was about that, or few, is it last year or two? Yeah, it was 285. Now it's at 600 and something, right? Let's assume that you bought 1,000 or 100 units of that, so that you bought $2,000 of that, 2,850, right? Now it's going to be 6,350. That's what your money would have been, right? For you to be able to remove your 4,000 right there, the profit, you have to sell it. That's the thing with ETFs, right? That's the thing here. Now with real estate, with this appreciation, there can be equity, which you can actually do a cash out refinance and take it without actually liquidating that property. You don't have to sell the property to. However, the other part of here is that you get dividends. So if it's a dividend ETF, right? If it's a dividend ETF, you would get some returns on this. You share out of the profit every single year. That's what you do. You share out of, every single month. Like an SCHD, you'll be able to share whenever there is profit, like because it tracks. This is for SCHD is for dividends. You can definitely get your money, get some dividends. So people live off of dividends. So it gives you that too. That's like basically the 2 paychecks, right? With ETF, because we are looking at which one is better, which of them helps you to build wealth, but one is just growth, helps you, but it has the pros and of course it has the cons. Here on the other end, of course, it gives you solid 4 paychecks. That's it. So, and 4 is going to always be higher than a 2, right? 4 is way more than 2. So that is one of the answers that you probably have been looking for right there. ETF or real estate, 4 is more than 2. Okay. So if you want to, so just to clarify this is how you start to scale wealth when it comes to real estate, because it gives you 4 paychecks. You want to scale your wealth, real estate is going to help you, because you can actually use the same money multiple times. You can enjoy leverage with real estate. What does that mean? With 50,000, with a down payment of 3.5%, using FHA loan, you can actually control a property of 200,000, 400,000, whatever, 100,000. You can actually control it with 3.5% down. You can't do that with here. So you cannot say, okay, I want to buy ETF, but then I want to buy 200,000 of ETF, and you go to the bank, yeah, but I'm going to put 3.5% down. I've never heard that. That's not even possible. Okay. But with real estate, you can definitely do that. There is a structure and plan for that, right? You can also use 20% down. With little money, you can be able to build a huge portfolio. With 20%, or think about it, with 50,000, you can control an asset or even less than 50,000, you can control an asset worth 200,000. With 250,000 or even less, you can, or 200,000, you can control assets worth $1 million. You cannot do that with here. So that is the other beauty of this, right? You can definitely have leverage, use leverage, build your asset, build and just be paying back. That's it. It gives you leverage, the ease, the structure for that, but you cannot. If you want 200,000 of ETF, you have to have your 200,000 cash. You want 1 million of ETF, you have to have 1 million in cash, right? So that is just that's another thing. Then the other thing is that they add more. One has more exit strategy. Here, it's either you sell, okay, or you keep. That's it. Here, you can use it as a business. So you can, I know that there's some other ways, but you need to just get a lot of education. So like, what's it called? Where people trade their stock for a certain, I don't even want to talk about it because it's a little bit complex, and for a beginner investor, you don't even want to go there, right? It's almost like gambling, assuming that okay, things will go up or it's going to go down, and then you lose your money in that process. So I don't even want to also go there, but that's another strategy here. But here, you can clearly use your real estate for a business. You can live in the house, buy a house using FHA, right? 3.5%, live on certain part of the house and rent certain part of the house. You can buy a triplex, live in one unit, and of course, the other 2 units, you rent it out, all right? And then the tenant pays the mortgage for the whole house, and then you live in the house for free. And even in some instances, you even have extra change that you can use towards the next investment. That's a beauty here, right? That's real estate, okay? I'm not going to say beauty or no beauty. you sieve it out, and at least you understand which one suits you or not. You can use this one. They have multiple exit strategies, like I just talked about. House hacking was what I talked about. Other strategy, you can decide to say, okay, I'm going to rent it out for 1 year, get tenant to pay me every single month. Or you can say that, okay, you know what? I use it for short-term rentals. People rent it every single day. More money. I can use it for group home and use it as real business, right? Double my income. So there is no limit to what you cannot do when it comes to real estate. There is no limit, right? So it's about how much do you want to increase your income, how much leverage do you want to take. You can decide to say that, okay, you know what, I don't even want to deal with individuals anymore. You can say that you want to start doing multi-units. That's what you need, yeah. Multi-unit, you want to start dealing, or you can say that, you know what, I don't even want to do residential. I want to start doing office spaces, right? That is real estate for you, right? Those are the beauty of real estate right there. That's the beauty of real estate, okay? So just to recap, okay, because like I said, if you want to actually own your own first rental, that's part of the things that I teach. I teach both the ETF, both the real estate, because I'm of the opinion, anything that makes money, right? The multimillionaire puts their money in there. Guess what? You're going to see Dr. Lina. And of course, you're going to see every other person, right? I always talk about diversification. So both of them have built me as an individual. It has built me wealth. Both of them, both of the strategies. But of course, one I know is that one builds wealth faster than the other, and you already know which one. Okay. So, having said that, the truth is that a lot of people actually get this wrong. Whatever I just said right now, a lot of people get it wrong. Why? A lot of people would say, okay, because real estate, they do 4 paychecks, and I get the question because I know. I get this question every single day, my DM. ETF or real estate, that's where they get it wrong, right? That is where they get it wrong. They think it's either ETF or real estate, but it's not. It's an order, right? It's almost like, which one comes first instead of which one should I choose. Instead of you saying ETF or real estate, you should think about it, okay, which one should I invest in first before the other, okay? And of course, that's what I basically teach, right? I basically tell you, and just to give you an hint, I basically teach you to start with ETF. What does ETF help you to do? It helps you to build the capital. It helps you to have the discipline. What does this mean? ETFs, you can, under a few minutes, you can open your account. You can, once you know what you're doing, what you want to buy, the assets you want to buy, you can easily buy it, and all is done under one day. Done. Set it up and go. That's it. So it's easy, and every single month it's being deducted, and that's it. That's how it is. You can use it, definitely use it to build capital. So for instance, you can, like I said, ETF, you can buy as little as $1, $2, $100, whatever amount. So while you are collecting the money together, right, you can be able to build capital. Your $1 today, $100, $1,000, as you are putting it, you are growing your wealth, right? You are building capital that becomes something for you, right? So that is the beauty of that's the beauty of ETFs, right? Real estate, it helps you to create income, right? Real estate will help. What does this mean? ETF, right? It helps you when you build the capital. Then if you now put it in real estate, you now get multiple. All this paycheck. Remember, there are 4 different paychecks. 4 different paychecks that you can actually use to replace your 9 to 5, right? I'm not saying quit your 9 to 5, by the way, but use it. You can actually get some money that would replace. So think about it. You have 5 properties. Each of them give you $2,000 in rent. That's $10,000. That's the 6 figures that you're looking for. That's what real estate is doing for you. And you don't have to sell it. You still have the property in itself. That's the beauty of real estate, okay? ETFs will help you grow money because you are bringing the money together. Instead of it sitting in your Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, all of those bureaucratic accounts. I have one renter. Should I still start with ETFs? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Olives, we'll talk about that, right? So, the thing is, you start with your ETF to build the capital, right? It helps you to grow money. That's what it just helps you grow money. Put it all together, right? It says which is better first. That's where we are getting into. So ETFs definitely is better first, right? Except you have already built your capital. Remember, when it comes to real estate, you cannot buy real estate with $1. You can buy ETF with $1. Real estate you cannot buy with $1. Even with 3.5% down as an FHA, you would at least thinking about at least between 5,000 if the property is even 100,000, right? Yeah, so that is it right there. But the thing is that you can start, what I would say, always start with ETF, because not always. If you've built the capital, then you have already built the capital, right? But if you are still building the capital, start with ETFs. It helps you also drive discipline and automation, right? Because you see the growth. So imagine you see your money doubles its value. Of course, you will be excited. You'll be energized to go from level 1 to level 2. Okay? So that's what it helps you to do, right? Awesome. So it helps you build capital. Real estate help you create income. ETFs grows your money, right? But then real estate will pay you. So think about it that way. Should I get a brokerage account first or Roth IRA first? Okay, we'll talk both of them. Actually, you need to get both of them. Both of them, they serve 2 different purposes. Brokerage is for your today immediate. Roth, on the other hand, is for your future. So you need to have both of them. You need to open both accounts. It doesn't cost you anything. So your Roth IRA is $7,500 a year. That's what you can get. So Roth is for retirement, right? If you take the money any day before 59 and a half, you would get penalized, right? But with your brokerage, you can take the money out anytime. But the difference also between the two is that Roth is important because it grows tax-free, right? But then with brokerage, you pay capital gain tax on it. That's it. That is it right there. So you would have the two, just the same way I talked about ETF and real estate, right? Both of them, you have both, right? So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so ETFs grows your money, real estate pays you, it pays you because you get cash flow and every other thing. Um, so really, just to keep it simple, here we are talking about stocks. Hands off, easy. You don't need to worry yourself. Which broker should one invest in? Brokerage account. We just pick whichever one you like. So you can actually open, I mean, in the US here, the ones that I talk about, there's Vanguard, there's Fidelity, there's Schwab's, there's Robinhood, right? There is Ameritrade, any of those, right? I personally like Fidelity, and for my play money, I put Robinhood, right? Those, and the reason why I like Fidelity is just because, you know, the interface, I like it more, but choose any of those or go online, Google and research which one works for you, right? Just Google, look at their review, then based on your level and all of that, you can open any of it. Doesn't really matter. And then if you're in Canada, there is Wealth Simple in Canada. If you are in the UK or in the European area, right, you can Trading 212 is there. If you are in Africa, there's Bamboo, there is Stanbic IBTC, there is Investment One, right? Just simply go on Google, let Google be your friend, right? And you have it open right there. Somebody said, how many percent for brokerage when you pull out money? How many percent are you saying for brokerage? Capital gain, it's a function of your tax bracket. If your tax bracket is 26%, I mean, it's going to be calculated based off of that, right? So it's the capital gain. I'm not sure of the percentage. It's just based off your tax bracket, tax whatever. I'm not a tax consultant, but it's based off of your taxes. Okay. So really, I hope I answered all the questions. So I have one renter. You have one rental. Should I still? So Olebs, what I would say, if you already have one rental, okay, that means you're having cash flow. So if you already have your capital to start doing your real estate, then start it. Buy the down. I mean, remember, the ETF is to build capital. So if you already have the capital for the real estate, then do it, and then have your ETF on the other side to start building. Right? Remember, you are scaling. It's not just not going to end with one. You should do 2, 3 like that, right? The more you have, you already know the benefits of real estate. That's why you have one. So look at the cash flow, appreciation, all of these that you get on that one. Now think about it. If you have 2, if you have 3, you have 4, you know, you can easily step off the hamster wheel, end in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and get over this rat race if that's your goal, right? Get your financial freedom early, you know, and live life at your own terms, right? It can replace your paycheck. So think about it that way. So you can, if you have capital, start doing it right now. Buy the next property and start building the capital through ETFs again. I hope that answers your question. Awesome. So really, basically, and that's what I want to say. A and B, it is very important. This helps you to build capital. This can definitely replace your income. Real estate can definitely replace your income. That is it right there, right? So should you have 1 or 2? You should have 1 and 2, both of them. And that's the reason why I train both. Like I train 4 pillars of wealth building, which is your income, because it's your income that is going to fund 1 and 2, or 2 or 1. It's your income, except you have an inheritance, right? Or you want a jackpot. It's your income that is going to fund this, right? That capital. Then I talk about the discipline, because the discipline, financial literacy, financial discipline, financial planning, it's all of those are what is going to help you be able to manage your capital very well, or put money aside towards these 2, right? Right? That is it right there. So that's why I teach these 2 trainings, both on ETFs, on real estate. This last weekend, we just finished a live training on real estate. A whole 2 days was what it took. I don't know. I know that somebody joined. Quite a number of people, they did join that training. It was. Please leave the review there. So that people would see. It was everything. And for me, when it comes to real estate, if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a serial investor. I own and manage, emphasis on manage, double-digit real estate portfolio. I've been investing over a decade, in real estate. That's what I've been doing, right? And that's the entire knowledge that I did share this last weekend on the live training. So for those the people that missed it, there is we have the boot camp, we have the training, and all of that available. So you can definitely reach out. All right, send a DM, or leave a comment, and you can definitely get access to it, because I teach both of them. Each of them is going to build you wealth in its own separate ways, and it's going to build it fast. Build it really fast. This is going to build you. Real estate is going to build you wealth faster, right? Definitely. But you can start with ETF to start with building your capital. So if you want to learn investing step by step, basically you need to join. There is the Smart Investing training that is coming, the Smart Investing workshop. That one we did real estate last weekend in 2 weeks. So I'm thinking the week up to 26, it's going to be hands-on, where you don't know which account you want to open, you don't know. All of those we will talk about in that workshop. The only thing that I've not set up the date is I'm hoping that we can do it during the day, where people can actually open their accounts in that meeting. Otherwise, it's going to be an homework. It's going to be 2 weeks where one day you will spend everything that you need to know. Then another day, the account is now open. Then you are going to actually trade, buy those stocks or those ETF in that particular trading. So it's going to be very hands-on, right? So that you don't have any excuse, right? By the time you are getting out of the training, you should be like, okay, yes, I am good, right? That is coming very, very soon. So for people that have been having excuses, I don't know where to get started, I don't know how to do it. There's one person was like, this thing is a pain. It's not a pain. We will deal with the pain together, right? And if you're ready, as well, you want to buy your first renter in 90 days. That was what that training. You can also join the real estate bootcamp. We did that. So we have everything: the presentation, the training, the presentation itself, like the slides, very solid slides. We also have the training, the video, like for the all 2 days. Something you can watch at your own convenience, and the slide that follows it. Trust me, I don't know. I know that somebody was saying thank you earlier for the training. I know quite a number of people joined, right? Quite a lot of people joined. So everything is available, and then there is also the access. They're going to be having access to the to the close community, where we will be able to. We'll talk about different deals, send you different deals that I say, like, I always say that I buy through the wholesalers, because whenever I'm buying 20% less of the market value. 20% less. That's my own rule of thumb. So you see me what that means is that I buy properties, I buy it for 250,000, but right there and there, I can sell it for 320,000. I buy properties worth 200,000. Right there and there, I can sell it for I only need to fix it maybe with $5,000, and I can buy it. I can sell it at $300,000, but I don't sell. I keep, because that is how wealth is being built. Because once I sell it, what that means is that I'm going to miss out of the cash flow. I'm missing out of equity. I'm missing out of I'm going to enjoy equity, but then I'm missing out of appreciation, and I'm missing out of tax benefit. But at the same time, this equity that you are getting, that you are also going to pay capital gain taxes. We don't pay taxes. I mean, it's not like we don't pay taxes, but we are reasonable whenever we pay taxes. We pay taxes not as a middle class. Middle class pays the highest level of taxes. You'll be so amazed. They pay the highest level of taxes. So those are the things that are in those training that you would learn, with the training. Okay, with the training. And I mean, the people that join the training, of course, be that truth. Oh yeah. For the people that joined the training, you can also see the video on my page right now. Not on the people on YouTube. I will put it on YouTube so that you can also see some of the reviews, and because I made it real estate can be very technical, but I break it as simple as possible, like ABC. So send me a DM, or you can just click on the link. You will have it. It's in 4 modules, module 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So you can actually take your time, right? It's yes, it's on TikTok page. You can take your time to watch it. Module 1, 2, 3, and 4, because it's like day one we had long hours, and so it's there with the presentation, and then you have the access to other like-minded individual. That's what you also get in that package, right? That is what. So if you are interested, you can definitely go in there and get your link. Click on the link, you would find it right there. For anybody, for the people that make that get the books right now, or within, because I'll be wrapping up now in another 5 minutes, that gets it within the next 5 minutes, I also will be giving them 1 hour of strategic session this coming Saturday, this next weekend. 1 hour, either Saturday or Sunday, we'll choose for the first, but it's going to be for 5 people, right? Really, the first 5 people, right? Anybody that gets the real estate boot camp. It's called the real estate, how you buy your property in 90 days. The real estate boot camp, you would find it right there. You'll find the link right there in my bio. You would find it right there in my bio. Let me see if I can also be able to put the link. Yeah, you should find it. And I would, if you also DM me on YouTube, I would also be able to send you the link. I'll be able to send you, for the people, the 5 people, right, that gets to get that, you would definitely be enrolled. If you have any questions, so because you did not join the live, or you miss every person, or you have questions, how do you set it up, you get the 1 hour. It's not one-on-one, it's going to be group, right? It's not one-on-one, but 1 hour of strategy session. So you want to say, okay, how do I get my down payment? How is my credit looking like? How is this? All of those kind of things are the things that we're going to be talking about in that strategic session. But it's going to be for the first 5 people. All right. So go and get go on the link. You would find it right there. You would find it right there. Mayalistic, did you try to invite? Did you send an invite? And also be on the lookout for the ETF training. That one is coming. That's going to be still this month. I would put out the date as well. The date, I'll put out the date on the real estate, on the ETF. But for the real estate, you will find the entire, it's module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and it comes with the slide. And then you have access to the community as well, whereby you can ask questions. People, you want to buy your property at a discount. Those are things we would have there, or you are stuck on your property, or you don't even know how to get started. Otherwise, if you want a one-on-one, you can also book a strategic session. A strategic session it's just a one-on-one, just you. But this is going to come for free for those that are registered for the and get the boot camp, the real estate boot camp. Buy your real estate in your rental property in 90 days. The strategies that you need to buy it in 90 days. You find it right there, right? And then you have 1 hour of a strategy session for you, where you understand, okay, you know what, I've watched the video, but I do not, you don't have any reason, but you want something tailored for you. That definitely, for those few people that want to take that opportunity and change it, trust me, this has built me wealth. I'm not, and I can show you, I own double-digit real estate portfolio. I did show some on the training so you can see, but you can double-digit real estate portfolio. So this is for people that want to build wealth. You want to build wealth. And then we'll also talk a little bit on ETFs. So if you are just building your capital, how do you start with ETFs and all of that? We'll talk about it. It's the strategy section. It's 1 hour where you can just basically ask your question. You want to have something tailored for you and all of that. Put down if you have already registered, or you plan to register, or you plan to get it, and be on the lookout for the ETF training as well. That's coming. The ETF, this is going to be specific. It's called the Smart Investing Workshop. That is coming. But real estate, we already have the bootcamp. That you can find just click on the link in the bio. Let me show you, because I know that some people, it's always it's always, so I'll show you so that you can find it. So if you go on TikTok, and let me go on TikTok so I can show you. And it's on Instagram as well. And by the way, for those on YouTube, I don't have it there, but you can actually check it on Instagram or on TikTok. You just go on my bio. You go on my, okay. So if you go on my bio, all right, somebody, oh, congratulations. Congratulations, somebody just Maya True. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Somebody just made, Maya True just made the purchase. Good job. Good job. I tell you, this is you investing in yourself. There's nothing as big as that you can do. Congratulations to you. And you're paying nothing. Like, it's nothing compared to what you're going to be getting. And I want you to come back with the feedback. See, you'll find it right here. That is it right here. The real estate bootcamp, buy your first rental property in 90 days. That's all that it takes right there. Right? And if you want the one-on-one consultation, you can also book a time. But for anybody that have registered Myro, please send a message, send me a DM so that I can send you for the strategic 1 hour strategic session. Just send a DM that you are the one that made the purchase, or send an email, and you should have module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and then you have 2 slides as well that comes with each of the 1 slide for module 1 and 2, then another slide for module 2, module 3 and 4, right there for you. Okay, and on Instagram you will find it there as well. And please, on YouTube, if you have any, you can go on TikTok, but I would also be, if you comment on any of my previous videos, I'll be able to respond to you as well. But I'm Money Talk with Dr. Lina everywhere. So I'm Money Talk with Dr. So you can find it there. It's for congratulations to the person that made a purchase. Can you comment here? Because I just saw it come true. Congratulations to you. I saw it come true. So I just saw it come true right now. And this is just for this is the real estate bootcamp. There would be, I'll start very soon. Once I get the date figured out for the ETFs, right? Once I have that date figured out for the ETF, you will definitely have this one, right? You definitely have the ETF training. That's going to be a live training, right? Where it's called the Smart Investing Workshop. The Smart Investing Workshop right here. So this is the real estate bootcamp, and I would be wrapping up now. You can send me a DM, okay, if you are interested. But once you make the purchase, and just say that I was in your life, or if you want a few more minutes for you to make, because you would only have the strategic session if you did it in this life, right? Or any of my life where we are talking about it. Otherwise, the only thing that comes with it is the presentation and just the presentation and the slides. The strategy session is people that get it in this life, or whenever I'm live and I'd say that, okay, you're going to get a strategy session. That is when you get it, right? That's when you get it, right? It's the Real Estate Bootcamp, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and of course the slides that come with it. Very solid slides. So even if you are, you just want to look through, if you are a visual learner like myself, you can be reading it and just use the slide. Or if you want to, you like to hear, right? Hearing, right? Some people, that's what they like. Or you can just use both of them and follow it. You have the slide and you also have the video that would help you get started in your journey. This is the real estate for sure. Paying you 4 paychecks. 4 paychecks is what you get. Cash flow, equity, appreciation, tax benefits. Of course, it also gives you leverage. It gives you leverage. All right. And 1 more minute and I will be out of here. 1 more minute and be on the lookout for the ETF training. If you want to, you're still building the capital, then the ETF is going to help you. right? It doubles your money in 7 years, and at the same time, it's just very low barrier entry. It's passive, long term, and of course, it helps with diversification. Okay, it does help you with diversification. All right. Okay. Well, it's good hanging out with everyone today. Thank you all for the tap taps. Thank you all for the follow. So send me a DM for all of the people that got registered on the real estate bootcamp. Congratulations to all of you. So proud of you because you took a decision that is not just going to impact you, but it's going to impact your future generations to come. All right. Well, have a good one, and I will see you. Ensure that your money is working harder than you do. See you later. Bye. Bye. So subscribe if you haven't, and send me a DM if you need the link. Okay?